Welcome back to the Bourbon Retriever. My name is Chris, and today we are reviewing the latest batch from Barrel Bourbon. This is batch 37. They have done a plethora of these. This is batch 37, but is this one that you should go out and buy? Let's find out. I don't know about you guys, but where I am right now, it is unbearably hot outside right now. And when it is that hot, it is unpleasant to be drinking bourbon neat. And I personally prefer to drink it on the rocks or in a nice refreshing cocktail when I'm outside in this temperature. And that is where our sponsor of today's video comes in, eCozy, with their brand new Sphere Ice Maker. And their newest model includes a blue light on the inside. That way you're able to check the progress of your ice without having to open the door and affect the temperature on the inside. And eCozy's ice making machines are as fast as they come. We're getting 4 ice cubes in 35 minutes. It makes up to 144 ice cubes in a day, and the basket holds up to 56 ice cubes. So if you're having a big, large gathering, this is the perfect machine for that. Now to get the clearest ice spheres, you're gonna wanna use distilled or boiling water. They actually include a pen that you can put into your water to test the quality of your water. I soon found out my tap water is not the purest, so I went and bought distilled water, and it made a massive difference in the quality of the ice sphere. So before I got the eCozy machine, I used this silicone mold that I got off Amazon, I think for like maybe $20, but I just wanted to show you the difference. I used the same water in both. They were both distilled water I bought from the store, but the cloudiness difference is, in my opinion, pretty drastic. I didn't think it actually would be this drastic. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up on the camera here, so I'm gonna do a close-up, but the left here is the eCozy and the right is the mold. I'm also gonna pour a little bit of Wild Turkey 101, my favorite drink to put on the rocks, in these glasses, to show you how much slower the eCozy ice melts compared to the mold 2. And you want a slower melting ice cube because that means you can enjoy your drink longer without having to worry about the ice water diluting your whiskey. And if for some reason you're unhappy with your machine, eCozy offers a 30-day return policy. And for you guys in the community, they have provided us a discount code. It will be in the description below. So these sponsorships go a long way in helping a channel grow. So if this ice machine is something that you're interested in, definitely go check them out and support the people that are helping support the channel. So the first thing that jumps out to me on this bottle is the stats on this. We have a blend of 10-year Kentucky, 8, 11, and 12-year-old Indiana, and 13, 14, and 15-year-old Tennessee. That is pretty well-aged stock. For the MSRP on this bottle is $85. That is pretty insane to have that type of price tag with those bourbon stats in there. Like, that is not light whiskey. It's not American whiskey. That is bourbon. So to have that kind of age statement is pretty wild. Like, if you think of almost any other of the NDPs right now, all of them that have double-digit stock, they're charging 200 plus for their bottles. So to this only be $85 is, I think, probably the value brand right now in NDPs. And on top of that, Barrel is one of the best blenders of whiskeys in the game. Like, they do an incredible job with the products that they have. Now, this bottle was provided by Barrel for the review today. Thank you guys. I could not do this review without you sending me a sample. However, I have bought other Barrel products, even when they don't send me samples to do reviews of. And I have to tell you guys, just a little bit of maybe intuition I'm picking up here. I haven't been able to confirm this with Barrel at all. This is just maybe me reading the tea leaves a little bit. But the bottles that they send for media samples are some of the best of the stuff they put out. And I think that totally makes sense from a business standpoint. They put together these blends, and when something really hits in their eyes, they definitely want to get it out there in as many hands as possible. So they send out media samples when they have some of their best blends. And they really trust for their product to do talking for them, because when they send these samples out to us in the YouTube space, Instagram, whatever else they send them out to, there's no requirement for a positive review. They don't want to see the review before you post it. There's no specific, you have to say X, Y, and Z thing. So The fact that they're just willing to send this out to people and let them tell their honest opinion about it, I think just shows you how much faith they have in those products that they send out for those media releases. So in the future, if you ever see a product from Barrel get a lot of traction on a lot of platforms, it is probably because they have done a massive push on getting these in people's hands, and those are the batches that you should keep your eyes on. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the review. Cheers. Okay, so the first, I guess probably 3 prominent notes I'm getting on this is, the first thing is orange. A ton of orange, maybe a little like candied orange. I'm trying to think maybe like caramel drizzle over an orange. And then there's a lot of oak on the back end. Not over oaked anyway like that, but you can definitely tell this is a well-aged bourbon. But I like how they got that nice complexity. You got the nice fruit, the sweetness, and that oak coming on the palate there, or not on the palate, on the aroma there. Yeah, that is a really strong aroma. It's not one that you're having to dance to find, tiptoe your feet around. It is right there, and it lets you know that it's there. Yeah, maybe a little bit of vanilla is coming through on that candied part, but that is a really good aroma. Like, this is spot on, basically what well-aged bourbon should smell like. That is almost a perfect blend, but let's go ahead and jump into the palate and see if it translates. Wow, okay, no complaints right off the bat there. On the front of it, I'm getting a lot of like candy ginger. That's kind of the sweetness, a little bit of that gingerness in the middle there. Transitions to a nice, more richer, darker sweetness with that oak punching in at the middle there. And it actually has a pretty good finish on this. It's not a spicy rye finish, like nothing like that at all on it. It's more of just like almost like coating your tongue in that flavor, and it just lingers there on the back end. That is a really good finish. I'm gonna definitely have to jump in for another pour here. Yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit of lemon zest in the middle there. Man, it's a wild amount of flavors I'm getting on this. This is definitely a complex pour. There's a lot going on in it. Definitely one you need to sit down with and analyze, just because there's a lot going on in this blend. Yeah, I'm really digging with how sweet it is on the front end there. Nice, nice sweetness. And then, yeah, it transitions to that oak after you have that nice sweet punch at the beginning. But I guess I'm gonna take that back. It's not a punch. It's more of like a nice waterfall of sweetness, because there's no proof there in the front. It is just straight sweet pour, which is absolutely fantastic. And then it moves into that oak presence in there. Transition a little bit of spice, where I think that it's more proof than it is spice coming in, kind of the middle bit there. And it just has a nice long finish. Yeah, and it has like the right amount of oak. This is not over oaked by any means. It drinks like a 10 to 12-year-old product with the amount of oak you'd expect from that type of product. Doesn't have like that 18-year-old type of oak, or that dense, rich. Sometimes can be a little bitter. Doesn't have anything like that. It's more of a balanced oak with the rest of the flavors that you're getting. But they put some notes on the back here. Let's see if we can pick up any of these flavors here. So they said it's a sophisticated bourbon. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I need like a monocle or be wearing a suit or something with it, but it's a sophisticated bourbon with notes of dark chocolate. Didn't really get a lot of dark chocolate. I don't really associate chocolate with like double oaks or toasted products. Toffee, there's probably a little bit of toffee. That might be that sweetness in the mid palate that I'm talking about there. Spiced orange, got that on the aroma. Banana, maybe like once you put it in someone's mind, start talking about it, you probably pick it up. But I didn't get any of that originally. Cardamom, which I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I have no idea what cardamom is. I'm sure people out there are probably making fun of me, but yeah, I could not pick that out of a lineup, sight-wise or tasting it. And then you have a little bit of honey, which maybe probably that's true there. I think it's probably more on the vanilla side than the honey, but there's honey in almost every type of bourbon. Yeah, this is really good because it has that nice, I think it's just a well-rounded drink. It has almost everything you're looking for. It has the oak, it has the sweetness, it has a little bit of proof there to kind of amp it all up. There's not a lot of rye spice with this at all. You know, the bourbon drinkers, you're going to be in love with this. I don't think it has a high rye mash bill. It has on the back here is 78% corn, 18% rye, and 4% malted barley. So that's actually a decent rye mash bill. Higher than most traditional mash bills, actually. And I'm kind of surprised I'm not picking up as much, considering that is a higher rye mash bill than you get in most bourbons. But is this a bottle that you should buy, pass, bar pour, maybe something else on it? With my opinion, this is a definite buy. I think if you own no barrel products, you should need to go out and get this to know what barrel blending is like. Even if you have a couple barrel products, I think this is one to buy because it is probably one of the better values on the market right now. Because, like I said earlier, there's a ton of older age stated products in this blend, and it's only $85. Like, even legacy distilleries are struggling to put out aged product at that price point. So the fact that an NDP is able to do something at that price point with that type of product inside, I think is pretty incredible. And even if you take the stats aside, this drinks like a really good bourbon. It is definitely worth that $85 price tag on it. Definitely recommend you to go out and buy this bottle if you can. And if you care about signatures at all, a couple of these bottles across the distribution chain are signed by a couple of members who are a part of the blending process. They didn't say how many or where they're going, but it is a part of the distribution. So if that's something that you're interested, talk to your retailer and see if any of the bottles that he got in his boxes are signed. But again, do not sleep on this bottle. I think Barrel is probably one of the easier brands to sleep on because they've been in the industry a while. They were one of the first NDPs putting out product. And, again, they're on batch 37, right? How much more bourbon do you need if you maybe have had a couple of the first couple batches? But I'm telling you this, if you haven't, don't buy many, or if you bought all of them, this is definitely one to go and get. But if you're enjoying this content, point it out, hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss any future videos. And check out this video here before we head out. And until next time, cheers.